On comics when they used to mail them to you and they used to bend them. It's really tough.
Not a lot you can do.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Yeah, we're back.
We're back. It's been like what, a month?
It's been exactly a month. The first episode of 2018 we posted January 2nd. Here we find ourselves Friday night, February 2nd, shooting our second episode.
Yeah. We've just been so busy lately. Haven't had a chance to really put anything together.
And not to mention, we've been the walking wounded. You had a nasty bug. I fell on my butt and bruised my tailbone.
Yeah.
Mike's had the usual pains and aches and stuff. So we've been the walking wounded lately.
But anyways, I was just showing Jose these two beautiful gems I picked up a few weeks ago at movieposters.com.
Yeah, that was our road trip to that place in Scarborough that had a great selection of posters, both repros and original.
Movieposters.com has a lot of original works of art there, and these are two original vintage not film inserts, they're called daybills from the Australian release of Battlestar Galactica and Aliens.
Yeah, a B classic science fiction. Okay, it's not Star Wars. Not every film can be Star Wars science fiction wise, but from 1978, we remember we both went to see it at the movie. And of course, if I have to be honest, Ridley's more my favorite director. But this is Cameron. The action movie. We talked a bit about both Alien and Aliens when I featured a Dark Horse comic book. This is a really good poster. Unfortunately, you say that you can really see the bend lines on a dark poster.
You can. Now, what I'll eventually do is I'll probably send this over to Back into the Future, which is a company based in Ontario here that restores vintage movie posters. I don't know if I'll get the Battlestar Galactica one done because I don't think it's quite as collectible, but the Aliens poster certainly is.
That would be my choice.
Yeah. Not as collectible as, let's say, a North American movie poster or a film insert, but the Australian daybills are still very collectible, and this one is in really, really nice condition, with the exception of the lines and small. It's really, really nice. It's in fantastic condition.
But you know what we can say about that? This is like natural wear of the thing. It's like when they comic books in the good old days, as you could say, they bent them, and so if you were subscribed to them, mailed them to you. This is through wear of the things being handled, if you could say that. It's honest enough where you can understand it, and you can do a lot to minimize it. You're going to have to spend some bucks, but they can be made to look a lot better.
For sure. So this one's getting restored for sure. I'm not sure about this one. But anyways, we got a great episode for you tonight. We got some really special books.
A couple of special, really good books.
Glad to be back, and Jose's got I'm really getting excited about this one particular book we're going to be showing tonight. But so let's not waste any more time. Let's head over there. We'll get set up, and let's get going.
Yeah, wait.
Okay, so here we go, and we're going to start off the way we've been starting off in a lot of our episodes lately, with a new book segment, because Jose has brought along some really, really interesting new pickups that I guess you picked up at Retro Rare over the last month or so. Is that correct?
Yeah, and other places, more or less. Sure, yeah. Basically, these are the highlights of the last, I would say, about 6 or so weeks, 8 weeks of new book pickups. These are some of the highlights. So this is the only Marvel pickup. We'll start off with this Marvel Legacy Silver and Bold. It's a one-shot part 1 of 1. Silver Sable and the Wild Pack. Of course, the wow factor for me is this is an Asrar cover after, of course, Durango.
Oh, for sure.
One of my
faves. Yeah.
It's a riff, as you would call it. This is totally riffing Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. issue number 4. A book I have, it's CGC VF 8.0, my copy. Anyway, you don't have this book, do you?
Not yet, but I'm still working on it.
And you don't have it either, do you?
Not yet.
Jeez, guys, join the club, for God's sakes. Okay, so, so this is you guys have heard before. I mean, I have a semi-boycott. I mean, it's really got to grab me if it's from Marvel when you're talking new books. So this is the one I'm featuring here. So let's go to the next book.
One there, Mike.
Right.
Oh, be careful. Yeah. Okay, now let's have a Dynamite cover. This is Barbarella issue number 1. They had so many variants. This is the cover P letter Joe Jusko variant. Yeah, this cover is just so sexy and it has a great feel. Another sexy Barbarella cover is the N letter cover. That's the J. Michael Listner variant. I just like this Just Go a little bit better. These don't seem to do a whole lot of price-wise, but it may have potential, though, down the road. The run small, but it's also the market very small. But again, a great cover.
Yeah.
Love the Barbarella.
I bought it too. I just honestly, just because I was kind of interested, I don't really expect it to increase in value. But you're right. I suppose with time it could.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's
could.
fun. I got one of the variants too. I got
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
I think that you mentioned.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the next one, that's next. Okay,
Nice.
another Dynamite cover. This is Betty Page issue number 4. Now, you can always trust Dynamite to put out great covers. And here she is, the queen of cheesecake bondage, if you could say, Betty Page as a sexy succubus.
That's right, yeah.
This is a beautiful J. Michael Listner cover, of Betty Page. To note, there's a Virgin variant cover of this one, which is very appealing. Okay, so it's basically the same cover
And
without any
just
other
one,
text.
Just one question about the Virgin variant, because I've seen you show them before. Is the print run a lot lower on the Virgin
Yes.
variant?
Yes, the Virgin variant would be probably significantly lower.
Yeah.
How much lower? I don't know. They don't publicly state their
I
runs.
think it's about
Anyways.
60% lower.
Anyway, next book. Yeah, we've been mentioning these down through the episodes. I mean, this has actually got to the top of the list for Jose. This is now my personal fave of the Stanley Lau, or should I say Arjun variants. This is Supergirl Volume 7, Issue 16, the B Stanley Lau variant.
Yeah.
Arjun is at the top of his game with these Supergirl covers. This
Yeah.
could be the cover for a fashion magazine like Vogue or Elle, man.
Yeah.
And this issue is no exception. Another great cover, another one for the private collection. Beautiful.
And the Stanley Lau's pretty sought after, right, as far as cover
Oh, when
artists
they
go?
come in, they go out. They don't stay. If you're not there when they come out on the Wednesday, they're
right.
gone.
They're gone.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you see them for 10, 15,
Right,
20
Travis.
bucks online, yeah.
Snag them as fast as you can see them.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Next.
Okay, this is Harley Quinn Volume 3, issue number 33, the B variant Frank Cho cover. The detail in this cover is just amazing,
Yeah,
intricate. Wow, Cho at his very best. He's killing it with these Harley covers. Must have PC book.
Yeah, fantastic, Jose. That is amazing.
And the next one, Mike,
Next
and
one?
let's go to the last one. I think this one is going to be, this is going to be
Nice.
a foreshadowing book. We're going to be talking about the Muty Runt and my last segment of this. This is the Old Man Logan, Volume 2, Issue 31, A cover. This is the regular Mukesh Singh cover. Now, in my opinion, a better cover than the variant. The readers got the cool cover with this one. Keep it clean. Small chance it does something price-wise down the road.
Cool, cool.
Nice, I love it.
Is that it? Is that it? All those?
That's it.
Well,
The
so-
highlights for the last 6 weeks or so.
Those are some spectacular covers, Jose. Great choices. I picked up a couple of them, not all of them, but yeah, I guess you're sharking up on some of your new books. It's
Yeah,
not,
sharpening my skills and making sure I get the covers that I want every week.
now, as I've said before, it's not all about the vintage stuff. The new stuff is really cool as well.
Okay, for Mike's first segment here, we're going to continue the riff and give the love to the new books. And wow, look at this, man. The New 52 Batman Detective #1 with a Joker cover that's so creepy and atmospheric. Mike, wow.
Oh yeah, hands off to Mr. Sandy there, Uncle Sandy at Retro Rare for knowing his customer and putting this in my hands. Because he gave this to me for 15 US bucks, and you know it's worth a hell of a lot more.
Yes.
These New 52, I started collecting, I kind of missed all of the #1s. So he was kind of looking out for me on this one. This is the first first appearance of Dollmaker. He had 9 appearances. What did I say? The New 52. I mean, it was just a great story, great storyline, great drawing, art. Everything is awesome in this.
I'm still not sure why they started,
collectible.
DC started it over again. I probably never will.
You know, they were looking at numbers more than they were looking at their old collectors per
Yeah.
se and pissing them off, and that's why they went back to the old number.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, still
A great cover.
Great
great
cover,
cover.
a #1.
and kind of explain in a way that the New 52 is a different timeline than the continuity of whatever. But I
Yeah.
mean that's still arguable. We'll see. We'll see. But we're gonna move on real quickly to something
Sure.
Okay, here we got something Bronze Age,
Yeah.
20-cent cover, Adventure. This is the first book of the run of the Spectre on Adventure comics, unless I'm mistaken.
This is absolutely, and you know, when I'm missing cons, we haven't had a con, you miss the dig. You kind of have withdrawal symptoms of digging, so I had to go down to my honey hole.
Well, we know what that is. Let's give them
Yes,
another
we do.
plug. It's BMV.
Absolutely.
BMV, yeah.
So I picked this up, and oh man, I'm just happy with this. This is a, I would say it's about a fine, very fine, about a 7.0. There's really no issue.
It's nice. It's pretty
It's
clean.
nice,
It's tight.
transparent,
You can
clean,
see
tight.
visibly with the naked eye at this distance. It's got some takes as far as on the spine with color
Sure,
break. But
sure.
you know, overall, it's got some really good eye appeal. And wow, we thought that Batman Detective with the Joker cover was like troubling and creepy and stuff like that. In this cover, I mean, if you can see it right there, front and center, these guys' hands are melting off.
Melting right off, and the
Wow.
gun is,
Yeah.
and the gun is smoking, and obviously did nothing.
Of course.
It did nothing. Now, this is a Jim Aparo Touch of Wood cover.
Apparel, one of my favorite three gems,
Yes,
man.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, the Trinity of Gems.
The first classic Spectre book of the story arc that concludes with number 440. Now, Michael Fleischer is the name of the guy who wrote this stuff. Now, he's known for Secrets of Sinister House, House of Mystery, Forbidden Tales, of Dark Mansion, and House of Secrets.
So basically, this was the house guy who wrote a lot of the
Yeah.
horror stuff. He specialized
also-
on
No,
this
I
stuff.
liked. I love the House of
He
Secrets
also
books.
wrote Jonah Hex for about 12 years. Here's the interesting thing. You got to wiki this guy because after a series of accusations about his sanity, he launched...
You know, I would think
he's-
being insane in the comic industry would actually be a good thing.
If you're a writer, you can make up any old stuff. Yeah, why
Well,
not? Just see if
he
it
retired.
sticks.
Yeah.
Pretty much after the series, he retired from comic books, and he attended the University of Michigan, and obtained his PhD in anthropology.
Cool.
Which kind of reminds me of the Big Bang
Well, you know what?
Theory, the
Maybe
guy
he was
got
all
the
bent
big-
out of shape because he hadn't found his calling.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't comic books.
Whatever.
Maybe it was,
It
what
is.
is it? Astrophysics?
Yeah.
What was it again? It's
Anthropology.
anthropology, digging in the dirt.
Cool,
Digging into
cool.
their bones and stuff.
Nice 2 books, Mike.
Those are
Very-
fantastic, Mike. Thanks for bringing them in. Okay, now by the time this episode is actually up on YouTube, the Super Bowl will be over. But I thought it would show because it's kind of cool in commemoration of the Philadelphia Eagles making the Super Bowl and
The underdog.
underdogs.
Big
I
underdogs,
I thought
yeah.
I'd show this. This is my book by Chuck Bednarik here, and what's cool about this? He's one of the last of the 60-minute men linebacker. Like this guy was considered one of the
Played the
greatest.
entire game.
One of the greatest linebackers in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles, and what is excellent and exceptional about this book, as he signed it for me. Yeah.
Hall of Fame 67.
Hall of Fame 67. Yeah, so anyways,
Wow.
had old Chuck sign it. Unfortunately, Chuck has since passed away. I had this signed back probably in the 80s, so, but yeah, thought I'd just show that,
That's beautiful.
go Eagles.
That's beautiful.
I guess so, because they're not the Pats.
They're not the best.
Yeah.
And next up, we got High End Jose, and he's got 2 really nice gems here. 2, I guess, second appearance books, if I'm not mistaken.
I guess 2 reigns wild in this segment. Yes, yeah. We're featuring 2 books that feature second appearances of major DC badasses.
Cool.
Second appearance is going to dominate this entire
Yeah.
episode, actually.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see with your segment. Yeah, so we got one Bronze Age second appearance, and the other one is a Silver Age bronze. So let's start with the bronze. This is Lois Lane, issue number 17 from... actually, what am I doing? This is Jimmy Olsen. This is the Jimmy Olsen. I get them confused. You know what? These books, they get none of the love, you know?
Yeah.
The Jimmy Olsen and the Lois Lane, they were never really that collected or sought out. A few of the key issues, yes,
Yeah.
but you know what? That's where you're going to find some, actually sometimes when you have to do the work on this and read up on books, you find that you will find the strangest things in some titles. So in this one, Jimmy Olsen, you have major bad guy in Darkseid. This
Yeah.
is a Bronze Age book, early Bronze Age, January 71, issue number 135, second cameo appearance of Darkseid. Now, of course, when it comes to second cameo appearances, it seems that Big Bad Darkseid is one of the few characters to have the distinction of a second cameo appearance. His first appearance in the issue before this was also a cameo. So this is his second and cameo appearance. Yeah. In this issue, Darkseid is shown in only 2 panels. Now, Overstreet still notes this as a second appearance, but it also notes it as a cameo. It also notes that Forever People, issue number 1, a book I've featured, as the first full appearance of Darkseid, as he is shown more throughout the book than either appearances. Now, there's disputes about this that I've also cited that Forever People, issue number 1, has the same publishing date as New Gods, issue number 1. But Forever People number 1 was released in store beforehand, and Darkseid only has a panel appearance in New Gods issue number 1. Now, Overstreet is noting that New Gods number 2 as the second full appearance. To finish off, the Overstreet latest guide has the 9.2, 9, and 8.0 grades as 56, 108, and 160 US for the 8, 9, and 9.2. This is about a nice mid-grade copy in the sense that it's about a 7, maybe a 7.5 in a pinch. So it's not bad. Paid $70. You know what? It's okay.
That is one hell of a nice King Kirby blockbuster.
Yes, so let's look at the second book behind this. I kind of gave it away when I messed it up there. This is the Lois Lane book now. This is a early Silver Age book, issue number 17 from May 1960. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Second appearance of Brainiac.
There's a 10-cent cover. Yes,
10-cent cover, yeah. One of the most popular Superman villains and all-around bad guys in the DC universe. The first appearance of Brainiac, Action Comics issue 242, is already up there in value and price.
For sure.
Now, slab copies of that book at the VG 4.0 grades drop for around the $1,000-$1,200 US mark, and from there on, $1,500 for a 4.5 and up. Yeah, the second appearance of Brainiac in this issue has not reached unicorn ludicrous prices. In other words, wow, I can't believe they're actually pricing it at that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the high grades will cost you some buku bucks. Yeah, especially for the slabbers. Now, that's of course if you can find them. Okay,
that's for sure.
Yeah, right now, I think, recently, I saw that there's a CGC VF 8.0 copy on old eBay for the first appearance, that had a $5,999 or best offer price, and that's just crazy.
That is just nuts.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's for the second appearance. This one right here. The one for the 242, that one had $35,000 US for an 8.5 copy, but apparently that was because there's only 2 or 3 copies that are graded higher. Apparently that first appearance in anything above a VG4 is just impossible to get. Yeah. So let's break it down. It's a nice cover. You can't see it in the light here, but it has a slight subscription crease, okay? But otherwise, it's a well-loved book. The latest Overstreet at the 8, 9, and 9.2 grade splits are 131, 291, and 450 US. This, I would say, being somewhat conservative and optimistic, balancing the two, I would say maybe something approaching a 6.0. Okay, maybe if I'm taking half a grade, a 5.5, 5.56. At 150 Canadian is not unreasonable.
Listen, man, anytime you can find a 10-cent cover that looks as good as that,
yes,
I get really excited. That's for sure.
You will get excited when you show some close-ups of this. Outside of the subscription crease, it's a nice, crisp, clean book.
I gotta agree with what you're giving it.
Yeah.
For
a
sure.
6.0 around that.
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic books, Jose. Thanks for bringing them in.
Okay, for Paul's contribution to the show here we have a nice dandy title I remember from back in the day. This is OMAC, One Man Army, issue number 1 from October 1974.
Yeah, this is back when number 1s actually used to mean something.
Yeah, the last time that meant something,
Wow.
Yeah, for our viewers there who don't know what the acronym OMAC stands for, of course it stands for One Man Army Corps, and he's a cool looking mohawk futuristic kind of dude, isn't he?
Yeah, that's for sure. Now I bought this last week. Got this at Retro Rare.
From Uncle Sandy.
Good old Retro Rare. It's one of his wall books. The truth be told, I wasn't actually looking to buy any vintage comic books when I went in last weekend, because right now I've got 2 pictures there, 2 items there being framed.
Do I.
I've got a Last Jedi mini poster from the original film. It's getting that triple matted and archivally framed. And I've also got a Bond from the Short Line Railroad circa 1906, and I'm having that archivally framed and double matted as well. So it's going to run me almost $400 by the time I'm done. And you know, Gordy, he does real great work. So
getting back to the book, maybe should we mention something else?
Sorry, hey, I digress. Yeah,
you digress.
So I said, okay, fine. I got to spend something. I got to spend some money. So Sandy had it on the wall. It was only $50, and he sold it to me for $40. So you know, I say, what the hell?
That's a pretty good-looking book. Now,
yeah.
having said that, you got to respect these books and rake in like it's our white covers, and they can hide many sins. Having said that, it's a nice-looking book. It's at least an 8.5, 9.
VG, yeah.
VG, no, what are you talking about? VF or VF Plus, at least.
In the angles, and I wasn't catching anything.
And of course, you know what? It's who else but King Kirby. That's part of the Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby cover art. He also did the pencils, and he wrote the story as well. So
one-man band.
Almost a one-man show. Not quite. Almost a one-man show.
He was a one-man army, you could say, for OMAC. He was doing everything except inking the thing.
Yeah, that's for sure. And just to give you a quick breakdown, Jose uses Overstreet. I'm using the comic book realm for this one. I think Overstreet is probably a little more accurate than the comic book realm.
More conservative, in other words,
Yeah, exactly. But in the 9.4, this, you know, according to the realm, this will run you around $80. In the 9, you're looking at 70, 8.0, 68. And in like a 6.0, you're probably looking around $20 to $25. So not an expensive book, but still a very nice, you know, mid-70s #1 issue, and an excellent addition to anyone's collection, in my opinion.
Hey,
when you're a Kirby fan, you're a Kirby fan.
When you invoke the king, you can do no wrong.
That's for sure. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for bringing him in. You look so fantastic.
Pat Paul on the back. There we go.
Okay, now we're back to Eagle-Eyed Oog, who's brought in a really nice copy of Flash number 114.
This we should be called continuation on a theme. We talked about second appearances in my segment, and here we go, repeating that theme with a great book, second appearance of who else?
Captain Cold.
And boy, is it cold out there. We're shooting this on a night with the wind chill. It's supposed to drop to 15, 20 below zero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our 24th extreme weather
alert of the winter
season.
Yeah.
And here we have the big freeze.
The big
freeze this year.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, this thawed me when I saw this for this price. This is The Flash. You said The Flash? Flash Comics was first.
Yes, and the Golden Age.
Golden Age. The Flash started at 109. This is 114, the second appearance of Captain Cold, aka, as you know, his name is Leonard Snart from the TV shows. He's had 683 appearances in comic books.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a main bad guy for the Flash.
Yes.
A main guy
he's
there.
A big villain. Now, the first Captain Cold probably was in Showcase number 8 from June of '57. And now that book, his first appearance, you're looking at a VG copy would be like a $3,000 book.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this second appearance so cheap? I don't know, but I had to just jump all over it. I'm sorry. You know, you're talking about 4 years into the Silver Age.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just flipped out when I saw this, and I think that price that they have there is way low.
Yeah, but be honest now.
Yeah.
Be honest for our readers, Mike. When you saw that book, did you recognize it as a second appearance or no?
I didn't recognize it as a second appearance. I recognized it as an early appearance.
Yeah, so you knew it was up there.
I just knew right there, by the price, by the quality of the book, that I could do no wrong by buying it.
At $60 Canadian with the current exchange rates, we're talking about, take 15, so that's about $45 US. Wow. And what condition did you say this book was?
Okay, I give this a VG plus, and I've seen CGC that have tears in it and stuff like that.
This is
CGC tears and stuff.
Eye appeal wise, you know, it stands inspection, you know, very nicely. It's very nice on the eye.
$145+ on the internet, on your eBay.
Yeah.
Now, I see a lot of eBay priced books that they look like a deal. They're touting 4.5, but they're really a 3.5, but you're also paying a 3.5 price. So it's kind of like we're giving you you're jumping on a higher grade, but you're not getting that grade, but you're not getting ripped off because you're paying for the grade that you're actually getting.
Well, that's the thing.
There's a lot out there.
I've always said, buy the book, not the grade, when you're talking about slabbers.
Yeah.
And you guys both sporting those 10-cent covers. Fantastic.
Oh, and that's my second 10-cent cover, by the way. Yay! And it's a superhero book. Yay.
Congrats, Mike. I don't have a superhero book in a 10-cent cover yet.
I have so many.
Okay, for those of you that stick around to watch our long-winded episodes, and sometimes we've been very long-winded, you're going to be rewarded tonight. Because I think with the exception of Mike's Amazing Spider-Man, where he showed the first appearance of Sandman, this is probably the second most expensive book that we've ever showed. Not this one right here, the one behind it. Yeah. So tonight Jose is going to bring us home, and he's got a 2-book segment here that you are not going to miss. And I am super stoked about seeing this book and hear about it, because this is beyond exciting, Jose. Beyond exciting.
So let's get it on. Yeah. So the first book, let's get this out of the way. Should we say, is Marvel Comic Presents issue number 72. This is from March of 1991. It contains the Weapon X origin, the first issue of that origin story arc. It's got the first appearance of the Weapons X program and the first appearance of the characters of the Professor, Abraham Cornelius, and Carol Hines. Yeah.
And I'm collecting the modern Weapon X now, and they're excellent.
Yes, excellent Barry Windsor-Smith cover. Here it is, the origin of Wolverine as Weapon X, and how he gets his famous adamantium-laced bones. Yeah, this storyline is a fan favorite, but interestingly, not that well known to the larger comic collecting community. Now, the Weapons X program has been referred to many times in the movies, and X2 even based part of the film on this comic book arc. There are many firsts in this issue, and they are all involved in the brainwashing and adamantium procedure. Now, in later canon, the Professor is revealed to being the team behind the Team X, which had members of Sabretooth and Wolverine in it. The Professor's real name is Truett Hudson, and he's the half-brother of James Hudson of Guardian and Vindicator fame in the Alpha Flight team. Abraham Cornelius later becomes involved in resurrecting another popular Wolverine foe, Omega Red. The Weapons X story arc runs from issues 72 to 84 in the Marvel Comics Presents series. Cool. Now, only the prologue and part of the final chapter are told from the perspective of Wolverine, who is in a near mindless state for the bulk of the story. Instead, the members of the Weapon X team serve as the protagonists: Abraham Cornelius, Carol Hines, and a man referred to only within the story as the Professor. Much of the story arc roughly follows the formula of a slasher film, with the protagonist being stalked in an isolated location by a seemingly unstoppable killing machine. Yeah. 47th edition of the Overstreet Price Guide shows only $9, $12, and $15 as the 8, 9, and 9.2 price list for this issue. This is a really nice copy. I hardly ever venture, but I'll say, you know what, it's at least a 9.4 full near mint, if not higher. Pay 25. $25 Canadian. It's like something around $20 US.
$20, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
But this is the intro. Here comes the main course. Mike, do the honors and do the reveal for this book, which is.
Let's see the meat.
Oh, it's gone. I'm sorry. Everyone go home. Everyone just go home.
Come on. Let us see the book.
Okay.
Hey.
So it's not 181, but it's issue 180. Yeah, there it is, from October 1974. The first cameo appearance of Wolverines in comics.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I was a huge fan of Wolverine when I began collecting comics as a kid. Now, he was and it still is one of my favorite characters from the X-Men, along with Phoenix. I've read X-Men comics just hoping that it finally let him cut loose, and boy does he does in that book I've mentioned before.
Yes.
And it'll give more insights into his mysterious past. Like I said, the Hellfire Club, he cuts loose. The other one reveals his origins as Weapon X. I've just mentioned those two things. So I really feel these two books should be connected and shown in the same
stories
feature.
Are retold throughout the series.
Exactly. Now, why do I really love Wolverine? I love him for the same reason I really love the Punisher. both are willing to take it to the next level. They were both extreme and walked a fine line between hero and bad guy. I like that grayness, you know. They, along with probably somebody like Lobo from DC, are the best anti-heroes to come out of the Bronze Age of comics, in my opinion.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the character of Wolverine was spoken to many comic book fans, especially X-Men fans. After all, they completely twisted the X-Men timeline just to have the character in the movie Days of Future Past. Yeah, he's the only X-Men character to be in all the movies, though X-Men First Class was really just a cameo.
Yeah.
Furthermore, he's the only X-Men character to have had a spin-off movie. The Muty Runt has had 3, including Logan, James Mangold's dark masterpiece that sees actor Hugh Jackman finally walk away from the character after 17 years and 9 movies.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, this comic, believe it or not, was pretty much a back issue bargain until recent years when a big enough beef by fans brought to the market's attention that Wolverine is fully shown in the very last panel of the last page of this book.
Yeah.
The industry, of course, now recognizes Hulk 180 as the first brief appearance or cameo of Wolverine. In the past recent years, this book, of course, has skyrocketed. Anybody who cannot afford a first full 181 is going to obviously settle for the cameo 180 first.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, it's ironic that for the longest time, probably until the 80s, you know, like you could have had this for a very, very reasonable price.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's finish this off. Now, of course, this comic is one of the best Bronze Age comic books to investment and will pretty much remain so since the fans just can't get enough of Logan. Definitely a rock solid comic book investment, an evergreen. This bad boy is one of the best comic investing fan or Wolverine fan books that you could buy, considering for sure. So the 47th Overstreet price guide shows that the 6, 8, 9, and 9.2 grade splits for this book are 81, 194, 435, and $675 US. Now, again, a nice, solid mid-grade book. Conservatively judging it, about a fine, very fine 7.0. So what we'd have to do, the 6 and the 8 to divide by 2, so 81 plus 194, 275 divided by 2, approximately 147, or shall we say 150 US. Now, it's got 350 Canadian. I have very loath about spending above my agreed upon limit of $300 Canadian, so I did give it for 300 Canadian, which is about 225. Now, the last thing to say, why do we feel comfortable having paid that price for it? Doug Salipa in the previous year's Overstreet guide, the 46th Overstreet, quoted for this issue to price it at 200 or 300% above the guide prices. I won't get into that. It's just enough saying that at $300 Canadian or $225, I am very happy to add this book for this part.
And it looks like an easy 7 to me, if not 7.5.
We shall find out, because it will get graded.
Needless to say, Jose, I'm very jealous. You're kicking my ass lately, that's for sure, and there's not really much I can do about it, is there?
No, there isn't.
Yeah, but I'm honored to be in its presence. This is it's a very exciting book. First cameo appearance of the Wolverine. Wow, Jose, that's just spectacular. Absolutely fantastic. So obviously, let's leave it there.
No, sir.
You can't finish any better than that.
Well, I can take it with me.
No, you can't.
I can take that with me.
So, guys, if you like what you saw, leave a comment, because we love reading them, and we'll always respond. We always do, don't we?
We always respond, and of course, I should say that of course this was a happy find at our old favorite Retro Rare. Thanks, Uncle Sandy.
And we will see you next time.
Hoi hoi.
Special guest Mike. Yes.